Yeah.
Recording in progress.
Sometimes I go to Florida, family down there, but no, didn't this
All
year.
set, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, good evening. How's everybody doing tonight?
Very good.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay, we all ready to go?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, great. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Yarmouth Zoning Board of Appeals. Today's date is February 27th, 2025. My name is Sean Igo. I'm the chairman of the board, and we have 5 matters on our petition tonight. The first petition, on our agenda tonight. The first petition is 5160 Winifred Ortiz, doing business as Winifred M. Ortiz Home Daycare. Are they present?
They're coming up, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, very good. Property is located at 34 Hoover Road, West Yarmouth, Mass. It's in an R40 zoning district as well as the APD in Zone 2. The applicant seeks a special permit per section 202.5, use table P7, a use to allow a family daycare for up to 6 children. Good evening.
Hello, I'm going to translate.
Okay. Could you identify yourselves for the record, please?
Jennifer Esteves.
Okay.
And
Who are you with?
Winifred Ortiz.
Okay, all right. And let me ask you, do you own this property here?
¿Tú eres dueña de esa casa? Yes. Yes.
You do? Okay, very good. All right. All right, well, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you want to do?
Él quiere saber más o menos lo que tú quieres hacer.
If you could speak closer to the microphone, please.
Dile que yo quiero tener mi propio negocio en la casa porque me gusta atender a tratar a los niños de diferentes edades. Y
She wants to have her own business, and she likes kids, and she said that's good to have her own business at her house and work from her house with her kids. She have 2 kids.
Okay, so you want to run a daycare at your house, correct?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. And she wants to have up to 6 children?
yes,
How many children do you have right now?
She's not working right now.
Oh, she's not, okay. All right.
Thank
Do you have any clients lined up that want to bring their children to you right now?
¿Tú tienes algunos clientes que te tienen los niños esperando por ti?
sí.
Yes.
Okay, do you know how old the ages of the children are that people want to come over and use your services?
Uno tiene 5,
One have 5 years old,
2 tienen 2,
2 years,
en uno tiene 9 meses.
and the other 9 months.
Okay, okay. All right. Do you have any children of your own?
Yes.
You do. How many?
2.
2.
Yes.
All right. So on the total of 6, would that include your children as well? So you'd have 4 plus your 2?
One of them. There's one in a school.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the board and see if they have any questions. Barbara, do you have any questions for the petitioner?
yeah, so go back over the numbers again. You have 4 children that are interested in coming into this home daycare.
Yes.
And one of your children is still at home with you,
Yes.
and the other one's in school. And what grade is that one in?
Kindergarten.
Kindergarten, okay. So is that one in a full-day kindergarten? Okay.
Yes.
And how many adults live in the home?
¿Cuántos adultos tú viven en la casa?
2.
2.
Okay. And where are the beds for these kids set up?
Okay. What do you mean?
The cribs, where do these kids sleep during the day, take naps?
¿Dónde los niños duermen? Van a dormir during the day.
En la camita, en los ¿cómo se dice? En los maps.
They have mats. Yeah. It's like a bed. But she's gonna locate her at the living room, en la sala, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
Even the 9-month-old?
No,
no-
el de 9 años, donde tú lo vas a poner a dormir.
Yo no dije 9 años.
9 meses.
Ah, en el corral.
A park and play.
El
Back
pack and
and
play.
play. Okay, okay. Okay, that's all for right now.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Mr. Neets?
I don't have anything at the moment, Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Okay. Jay?
I don't have anything either. Thank you.
Mr. Martin?
So this is what I always used to call a split cape. Apparently, you come in and you're on one level, you're up a half a flight and you got bedrooms, down half a flight and you have this area here, right? Yeah, okay. Okay, it's good space. That gives you some pretty good room, actually, and the backyard is very private and nice. And it's a quiet area, and I don't think I'm going to have any issues with it unless some neighbors do.
Okay. All right, I got a couple more questions. First question is, what are your hours of operation?
¿Cuál es tu hora de trabajo?
De 7 de la mañana a 5 de la tarde.
7 a.m. to 5 p.m.
7
To 5
a.m. to what?
p.m.?
5 p.m.
5 p.m.
Okay. And what days of the week?
Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday. Okay. We have a total of 6 children. Yours plus a total of 5. Now, I noticed the backyard that's set up for the kids to go outside in the nicer weather. Is that correct? Because you're fenced in?
I'm sorry?
Is the backyard fenced in?
A part. One part. Not completely.
Children go into the backyard. Will they be able to get out of the backyard?
I'm sorry?
If the children were to go outside and go into the backyard, would they be able to get out of the backyard?
Si los niños van al patio, no tan
In other
cosas para
words, are
salir
they
afuera.
fenced in?
No,
Okay.
They're not fenced in.
no.
Okay.
Is there a partial area? The picture seems to show
I'm sorry?
the picture seems to show a
Él está
partial
viendo
area
el
that's
parque
like
pequeño.
the playground.
Oh, yeah. She had that.
Is that the area you plan on using outside?
They can play in there and on the other area too.
Okay. All right, but on your side, there's no fenced-in area? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes.
Okay, so you'd be comfortable with the restriction that the children aren't allowed to go outside?
Yes.
Okay.
But if she put the fence, can she came back and you approve it?
Yep,
Okay.
sure.
Quiere que tú
If you had a fence, if you were fenced in
Yo
right
tengo que hacerlo
now, I
para
don't
verano,
know.
ya saben.
It looks like they show on the whole back of the yard is fenced in. It's just, looks like the side yards aren't completely fenced. That's at least in the picture.
Yeah, I see the pictures. It looks like it's fenced, but they're representing that it's not, so,
I think
I mean, if they
Is
come
that
back in,
the
I
way
don't
they-
know the,
The way that when you go to the front, that part of the house is not fenced in.
Is it, okay.
Yeah, it's just that. But the other part, they're all
So
fenced.
the side yards go all the way, the fence goes all the way to the back from the side yards, is that correct?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so all you'd have to do is close off that front.
Yes.
okay.
Does the state regulate that, the fenced-in area outside? Does the state license look at fencing in the rear yard?
They approved the
I know it's approved, I see the license, but do they consider the outside area as being safe if it's not fenced?
because it's a quiet neighbor. That was
It
they
only
said.
takes one speeding car, though. That's-
I'm looking at their license, Dick, and it says first floor playroom, second floor washroom. That's what they have it listed, so I think they're presuming that this is indoor. I don't know that they do anything with the outdoor. But my own personal feeling on that is, if there's a way for the kids to get out of the yard, I wouldn't be in favor of that. I think if they suggested if they came back at a later date, maybe on the 1-year review, and it is fenced in, so it's safe for the kids to play outside, I don't think I'd have a problem with that. I don't know how the rest of the board feels. Any other questions from the board? None? Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to speak in favor of this petition? Please come to the microphone.
No one, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, is there anyone that wishes to speak in opposition to this petition? Please come to the microphone.
No one, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. All right, is there, any ladies, is there anything else that you'd like to add at this time?
¿Quiere añadir algo? No.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna close it to public comment and go to the board for discussion. Anyone prepared to begin a discussion or to make a motion?
Go ahead, Dick. I don't think anybody else has any more questions, so I guess I would make a motion to approve petition 5160 as printed in the notice.
On the agenda there?
On the agenda, yeah.
Would you, as with your motion, would you allow conditions, hours of operation, 7 to 5 a.m., Monday through Friday,
All right,
To 5 PM, I think, Mr. Chairman.
5 p.m.?
right. Subject to what they represented, which would be 7 to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday, for no more than 6 children.
Total number of children, 5 plus their own, so a total of 5 others besides their own, or her own.
Yeah, I think they're limited to 6 no matter what, yeah.
Well, yeah, but I don't, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if they include their own children in that in the
Yeah.
license, but, and at this point, the children are not allowed to be out in the backyard or outside unless they're within a fenced-in area.
Okay, happy to add that.
Second.
Mr. Chairman,
Did I-
did you want anything in there about a 1-year review?
Yes, thank you, Dolores. Yes, and could we put a 1-year review on this?
Yeah.
Is that agreeable to the board?
Yeah, that too.
Okay, all right, we're gonna do that. All right. So we have a motion to approve the petition with those conditions. Is anybody prepared to second the motion?
I seconded it, Sean.
Oh, you did, okay, thank you, Jay. All right, any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, that carries unanimously. Ladies, once the decision is drafted and clocked with the town clerk, there's a 20-day appeal period that must elapse. Once that passes, you can come see Dolores and get your special permit. Then you have to take it over to the Barnstable Registry of Deeds and record it, and then bring a copy back for our records. Do you have any
Okay.
further questions?
No.
Okay, well, good luck.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, our next petition is petition 5035, Jennifer Estevez Martinez, 28 Mirrorbrook Road in West Yarmouth. It's in an R40 zoning district, and we are here on a 1-year review per condition number 3 of decision 5083 dated February 22nd, 2024, allowing a family daycare for up to 6 children.
The petitioner is here, Mr. Chairman.
Sean, just to clarify, Sean, you mentioned it's petition, it's decision
5035. Oh, decision, excuse me, decision 5083. I
Yes.
can see that. All right, very good. Thank you very much, Jay. Could you identify yourself for the record, please?
Jennifer Esteves.
Okay, and how are you tonight?
Good. How are you?
Okay, you're here for a one-year review. How's everything going, okay?
Good.
All right, any problems?
No.
All right, and still everything the same? You have up to 6 children?
Yes.
All right, okay. Well, I'm just looking through our file to see if we have anything. I have a memo here. Police call history from Officer Gianmarco. And it says here, a check of our system shows the last response to the property was September 2023. There have been no responses for the dates you requested. So I hope this helps. Best, Nicholas Gianmarco, police officer, Yarmouth Police Department. Let me just look at something there.
Child's almost 2. Your child's almost 2.
Okay. I take it whatever that response was, that it wasn't anything too serious, or I think we would have had the call log on that. I'm going to go to the board for questions. Mr. Martin, do you have questions for the petitioner?
No, I don't believe I do.
Okay, okay. Jay?
Just a quick one. I know when we did this last year, there were 2 letters that were kind of objecting to it, but you haven't had any problems with the neighbors. They were fine. Everything's worked
Yeah.
well. No complaints. That's only one question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. Barbara?
I know when you were here before, I think you talked about your mother and your brother living with you. Is that still the case? Okay. All right, no, that's all I had.
Are there other people living there?
No.
too?
Just my mom and my brother, and my 2 daughters.
And you what?
My 2 daughters.
2 daughters, okay. Don't want to forget them. Would there be reason for concern that there were 6 cars in the driveway when I was by there the other day, in the middle of the day, or is that?
Yeah, there's my brother have 2 car and I have 2 car too, and my mom, my mom's car.
Okay, that's 5. I just, I don't think the kids drive to
No.
school, so I didn't think it was them, but I had some concern about that and whether it's causing any issues in the neighborhood, but there didn't seem to be any complaints about that, so I'm not going to bring it up.
There's a red card on the backyard. It's a friend's car. It doesn't work. So,
There's one that doesn't work?
yeah.
Okay. You're only allowed one that doesn't work. No, really, in the bylaw, you can only have one
Oh.
unregistered car.
Oh, I didn't know that. Thank you.
Yeah, no, okay. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? All right. Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to speak on this matter? If so, please come to the microphone.
No one, Mr. Chairman.
No, okay. Right. I'm going to close the hearing to the public. Is there anyone on the board that has any concerns or wishes to make a motion that they're in compliance with their one-year review?
I'd be happy to make a motion. They're in compliance. The only issues that came up last time that I remember were a couple of neighbors that were concerned, but there's no register of any complaints or any problems. So I'd be happy to make a motion to approve the one-year review and let it go at that.
Okay. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
All right. Any discussion on it? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. None opposed? Okay, well, thank you very much for coming in. Glad everything is working out, and wish you the best going forward.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.
All right, the next matter on our agenda is petition 5162, Bass River Realty LLC, doing business as Bass River Sports World. The property located at 934 Route 28 South Yarmouth. It's in a B2, HMOD1, and BC3 zoning district. The applicant seeks a special permit for 104.3.2 subparagraph 4 and/or section 202.5 for N11 use and/or to amend the prior relief in order to replace the baseball batting and soccer cages with a kiddie go track cart, storage building, and bumper car track. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman.
Could you identify yourselves for the record, please?
Sure. I'm Paul Tardif. I'm an attorney in Yarmouthport.
I'm Jeff Nicanello, third generation of Bass River Sports World.
Gentlemen, good
And
evening.
behind me is my son JJ, he's fourth generation.
All right, nice to have you all here. Attorney Tardif, would you like to proceed?
Sure. So this property, as you indicated, is in several districts, B2, HMOD1, Village Center 3. The entire campus, which includes a lot of other properties, is about 9.9 acres of upland. It backs up right to the Swan Lake in the back. The property is improved with various different structures, buildings, houses, businesses. But on the Bass River Sports World property, mostly it's batting cages, soccer cages. There's an arcade, a clubhouse. There's several permitted recreation uses, including a driving range, we all know, the miniature golf course with the big skull out front, and obviously those cages. There's also a skate park and an existing go-kart track there, and they're all classified under Section 2025 in the N11 use, which is other miscellaneous amusement and recreation services. The petitioner now seeks to eliminate the batting cages and the soccer cages at the property. I don't know if you've ever been there, but you know what batting cages do. They fire the balls at the kids and you try to hit them. And the soccer cages, same thing. The ball is projected out toward you and then you kick it. And it's all enclosed with nets and fencing and keeps everything in there. And you have the plans actually that show exactly where those are at this point. They're already paved. They're already they're all located on the easterly side of the property. The applicant proposes to install a new kiddie go-kart track and a new storage building and a new bumper car track in the same space where those batting cages are and the soccer cages. There's just been a change in the needs of their clients. Which is interesting, but we're gonna try to just change out those two uses. The facilities are not going to change the physical dimensions. They're not going to change the setbacks. It's purely just a change of use. The board in 2008, this board did issue decision 4162 that allowed electric go-karts to be used in the skate park that's behind the arcade building and actually extends just to the east of the driving range. Like that decision, these go-karts are also going to be electric, so the noise is not even going to be noted. In fact, it's going to be a little further up toward the front of that arcade building, which would block any noise going anywhere else. There will be some additional lighting, but there is a pole there currently for the batting cages that have some lights. There's just going to be attached some lights there to increase the light, but again, pointing straight down, not out toward the street or to the rear property or to the side properties. There's also on the new maintenance building, there will be a couple of lights there as well so that the employees can get the pit area taken care of when people are loading in and out of the carts, and also to bring the carts in the evening and to charge them. The new barn is going to be 30 by 45 feet. It will have 5 garage doors. I think I've submitted plans to that effect, but basically, it's just large garage doors that are going to open to get those cars in at night to protect them, charge them, and secure them. The property obviously will have power in order to charge those cars and heat, but no bathroom facilities, and there's not going to be any type of office or anything like that. So that building is going to be 104 feet away from the easterly boundary. The track itself will be in the area currently housing the baseball cages. In fact, the fence that surrounds the batting cages is not even going to be changing from its present location, so that's all staying the same. The pitching machines and the soccer machines that actually shoot the ball, whether it's a baseball or a soccer ball, will be removed, so we are actually just swapping out some of that coverage for the building. The bumper car track will be on the current location of the soccer cage, which is a little further north. It's going to be about 40 feet away from the side boundary, no closer than anything else that's there now. Also surrounded by chain link fencing, and that will not be covered either. But those bumper cars, I think we're planning on having about 6 bumper cars there. Is that the plan at this point?
Yeah,
about
6 bumper cars.
And then the go-karts, we're probably having 6 single seat and maybe 2 double seats. The reason we need that is that the current configuration or the current use requirements for the go-karts in existence, get this right here, there are 6 single-seat go-karts and 6 double-seat go-karts in the back currently. A driver has to be 12 years old and at least 56 inches tall to drive a single go-kart, and a driver must be 16 years old to drive a double go-kart with a passenger at least 36 inches. So these are going to be a little smaller and accommodate a little smaller people so that they can actually do that as well. So that's what the public is calling for. That's what we're trying to provide for them. So on the 104.324, which I think is where this falls, this board can issue a special permit if you determine that what we're asking for is not going to be substantially more non-conforming and not substantially more detrimental to the neighborhood, zoning district, or town. And as you can see from the application, the property has been the subject of multiple forms of relief over the time. I mean, I think there's I think you've been given all of those decisions. Those are the ones we could find, and there might be a few others. Bass River Sports World is a fixture in the town. We all know it's been here for as long as most of us have been around, and mostly in the summer months. So this is just going to allow another amenity for people, our tourist industry, to bring your kids here at night when the beach is closed, and you can have more things to do with even younger kids. And again, it goes with the family entertainment that the Nicanellos have been provided at this location for years. There is a large vegetated buffer between the Stop and Shop Plaza and this property. If you've taken a look, you see it's thick. In the summer, you can barely even see through it. You can't even see the buildings on the other side. So that will also act as a buffer for any light or noise coming through there as well. I don't think it's substantially more detrimental. We hope that you would agree. If you have any questions, we're happy to answer those for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Neitz, do you have any questions
I
for the
do
petition?
have a couple. Has the era of the batting cages and the soccer cages just come across and they're not being used much, or what?
One of the things over the years, that's part of it. And the demographics of the people coming down the Cape have changed over the years also. There's younger families, people aren't staying out as late. You know, so it's a combination of that.
Were they ever utilized by the local sporting teams from DY or the schools?
In the past, we have over the years, and I've had the rental programs for the schools at a really cheap rate over the years, so they were used, but it's really fallen off over the years.
It has?
It has, yes.
Interesting. And how big is the large go-kart track? Is that?
The large go-kart track is 100 feet wide
Yep.
by 200 feet long.
Okay, so that's pretty good.
200, no, about 250 feet, because then I have, that whole slab is 300 feet long.
Okay.
For the inline skating rink and skate park we originally had, and then we converted it.
Yep. And the kiddie go-kart, what age bracket are you looking at?
I'm looking to shoot from 7 to 11 years old.
Okay.
And I'm gonna set them probably about 9 miles an hour. My carts now existing, I have set at 16 miles an hour. So that's why we have the 12 and older.
I presume the manufacturers of these cars takes in safety precautions for the younger kids as not being
Yes, they do.
experienced, and
Yeah.
are helmets required in both?
They are not required.
They are not, okay.
Helmets for the state law is anything over 24 miles an hour requires helmets, suit. It takes.
They
it into
require
that-
them for bicycles.
I guess. I don't, I'm not sure. I haven't ridden a bike in a while. I'm not sure the law on
I
that.
think they require them for bicycles.
Yeah, but they are not required for the go-karts.
Okay. And the,
You are seatbelted in with a full harness.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
On that
and
aspect.
the bumper cars, are they really gonna be hitting each other straight on, or what? I don't understand that.
It's the spin
Is
zone.
that for the smaller kids too, or is that for all the
Yes,
kids?
there's a, it can go from, it's a height requirement of, I think, 42 inches or so. So, may I come up and
Sure.
give you the picture of this? These are the spin zone bumper cars. They only do like a mile and a half, mile an hour. When you, I don't know if you haven't
Okay.
driven bumper cars for a while, but they're not a very fast,
Oh,
moving like a go-kart.
They used to be, I remember.
They're not like it's
Old Orchard
it's a
Beach.
lot more cushion, not like the old bumper
Oh, they-
car
they-
style.
Try to knock someone out?
Yeah, so they've come a long ways, and those are those are the only ones built in the USA now.
Is that right?
Yes, the old style ones are overseas now. There's no
And they're
manufacturers.
all electric rechargeable like the
Yes,
other?
yes.
Okay.
And my go-karts are gonna be the same go-karts as I'm running now, they're just at a slower speed. And they have more of an adjustment on the seat for the smaller kids to move up to the pedals.
Okay. And with your experience in the larger go-karts, is it because the younger sibling is feeling left out that you feel this is filling a need?
Yes, as far as the families coming through the door, I have a large age bracket of the 7 to 11-year-olds that are very upset they can't drive a go-kart and do anything, and they're passengers, so that's why we came up with the smaller track with the less speed.
Industry-wide, is that,
There's kitty car, yeah, industry-wide. There's usually, on go-kart tracks, there's 2 to 3 tracks per facility.
Okay.
Then they split it up like that, where they have the younger kids, the intermediate, and then they usually have a slick track or some type of thing for the older people, you know, at a faster speed.
your experience with the other track has been several years now.
I think we're going into our 16th?
Yeah.
It was 2008.
And what's your safety record there? Do you have any constant?
I've had a couple of bumps and incidents.
Yep,
I've only had to call the state in on one.
yep.
That any damage to the cart, and it actually just broke the front bumper, so I called the state in on that, but I haven't had any
Good.
incidents.
Well, it's a.
As far
it's
as injuries and ambulances taking people away, there's been zero.
That's what I was kind of getting at, but I'm
Yes.
glad you
No,
volunteered that.
there's been zero incidents, sir.
Okay. Well, I think the family certainly has a good reputation in the town since the 1950s when you're.
It's 1961, yes.
Yeah. So,
And I'm happy to have the 4th generation, and my 5th
remarkable.
generation couldn't make it tonight, or bread time, 7 o'clock. So I have 2
let's hope the
grandchildren
second
coming up.
generation is helping you take care of it.
Coming over in a go.
Thank God the 2nd generation's still around for his knowledge.
That's good. That's good. Well, thank you. Mr. Chairman, do you need to take the picture that I was given of the go-karts,
Yes, we do.
bumper cars?
We'll keep that as an exhibit, Dick.
And I have pictures of my existing carts, and they are the same carts that I'm gonna be using, so I don't know if you want.
That's fine. No, the one that you gave us is fine.
That's for the bumper cars, not the
Yeah, that's-
go-karts, but, okay. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Okay, Barbara, do you have questions for the petitioner?
Yeah, I'm sure you did a business plan with this, so you're replacing the batting cages and the soccer cages with go-kart and bumper? So what do you anticipate an increase in revenue of that, or is it just a wash?
Well, I always hope to increase revenue.
Certainly increases expenses.
It's gonna increase, yeah, it's gonna, it's gonna be an investment, obviously, to reinvest.
Yeah.
But that's how business goes. Do I hope to increase revenue? Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Go back, where are the lights again?
Okay, well, the existing lights for the baseball are on the monopole, and
Which is?
they face straight down.
Okay.
Okay, I have an overview picture if you'd like to see. I can show you.
Yeah, I probably would, yeah, just to,
So let me, yeah. Let me see if I got a close-up here.
Show them that one, that's fine.
So there's the existing baseball, and if you see this big monopole in
Yeah.
the back, there's two downlights going there.
On this building.
On
Yeah.
that pole there. And then existing for the soccer cages,
where are they?
the soccer cages are right here. There's 5 lights there shining back this way.
Okay.
Sean, can you hear
So
him?
what's gonna happen?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna have downlighting for the bumper cars are gonna be right in this area here. So there's gonna be downlighting for that. I already have lights coming off the arcade. And then there's gonna be lights off the new building like I have on the side of my existing go-kart pit area now.
Okay.
So
And I
this,
assume there are lights in your parking lot?
yes,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
all lights
which one-
here,
yeah.
there's lights on the other side, there's a big downlight right
Yeah,
here.
I can see that one, yeah.
And a big electric bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't get any smaller.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't, no.
So this building we're putting here, that we're proposing, is gonna be the pit area like this building, where you come in, the carts charge, we unseat, we seat.
What's the lifespan of a charge? Is it an hour or two, or what?
No, I have charging pads in the ground, they automatically start charging when the car comes into the pit.
Okay.
So I do a 3.5-minute ride, and it's a 5-minute charge time. So I'm using the same car, so it's gonna be the same with that. The bumper cars, you just plug in at night.
Oh, really?
They run for 8 to 10 hours, depending on the use.
Wow.
I
Hopefully
do
they'll-
not have a charge time on how long they take to charge, but I would assume it would be overnight on those.
Interesting.
Because they're not set up with I don't think they're set up with fast chargers like my go-karts.
Interesting.
Okay, and the noise level?
This one.
They're electric,
I just
So-
wanted to-
so you get no noise out of it, except there's more noise from the kids having fun
Yeah,
than the cars themselves.
hope so. Okay. Okay, those were my questions, thank you.
Okay, Jay, do you have some questions for the petitioner?
Just a couple, just to clarify. So when I look at the baseball part now, it kind of looks like a slope track
Yes,
to some extent, and that's all asphalt now, is
that's
it
all concrete.
concrete? And they're just gonna, so they'll be just going around that oval?
Yeah, I'm gonna be taking out that concrete, and the track is gonna be more of a smaller kidney shape, looking like my bigger track, but just a little shorter.
Okay,
So it will come over into that soccer cage a little bit,
okay,
so I have enough room to come back into my building for the entrance of the building and the exit of the pit area.
okay. So when I look at the site plan, is that oval gonna change? Is that what you mean? You're gonna extend that a little bit?
When you look at all the chain link around the parking lot asphalt,
Yep,
so can you see my gate at the end of the grass area on the Stop and Shop side?
yep,
Okay, so all that gate staying, the chain link from that point all the way around the asphalt, all the way to the corner of the roof on the Papagino side of the existing baseball roof.
yep,
And then we're gonna go new chain link from there to the new building.
okay,
So that shape, that existing chain link is staying. So we're staying within the same footprint of the baseball.
You are, but you said you were going to extend a little bit into the soccer area, so I'm just
Well,
trying to
that's-
understand that part.
The track
track
will.
will.
Like, the concrete's it's all concrete from both baseball to soccer. It's kind of all tied together. So
Okay.
that's all kind of one big footprint now.
Yeah,
We're just taking all that out, and it's gonna be new concrete for the track area.
okay.
I'm not using the existing concrete for the baseball. That's all gonna be taken out, and it's
The
gonna be.
the batting areas, that's just going to shrink down to this area that you're talking about for changing cars?
That whole roof from the baseball will disappear, and then we'll just have a building right where the batters boxes are, basically.
And are the bumper cars covered, or is that area covered, or is it open?
They will not be covered from the get-go. I'd probably like to see a pavilion-type cover on it eventually.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's through the board for that decision, or if that's just a building department decision.
leave that up to the building department, I think.
Yeah.
But, and the last question was, the small building in the parking lot, that's where you're gonna keep the cars? Is that the idea?
No, the building we're building that you have the plans for is gonna be my new pit area for that track and the storage for the carts.
Hands?
That's the new building.
Right, what's this over
That's
here?
an ATM machine.
Okay,
The ATM has nothing to do, that's way out front.
I can't even see it in the picture. Oh, yeah,
That's the way
Be the photo mat, right, Dick?
okay, I got it.
Years ago when I first went in, yeah.
Okay, so that's gonna be a building where you store,
It's
so
gonna- it's
it's
gonna
where you change cars, but also where you store everything?
Yes, correct.
Okay. All right, that's all I have, thank you.
Okay. Mr. Martin, any questions for the petitioner?
I'd certainly like to commend Nick and Ellis for the long-term family business here that they've run so well. However, one thing, I'm a little disappointed that with some pretty substantial changes here in terms of changing this to go-kart and bumper cars and so forth and so on, that we don't have a full plan of the entire site as to what's what there. There's no landscape plan, there's no lighting plan. Is there any additional signage intended, or?
Just gonna be on my front sign, I'll add an oval where my baseball was. Oh, I'm not even gonna, I will just, that oval will be bumper cars. I already have go-karts. So it's just gonna be an oval that's replacing baseball, softball to bumper cars. So there won't be any added signs itself. It will be added to the existing sign.
Changing the words.
Just changing the words from baseball, softball to bumper cars. I already have go-karts up there from my existing. As far as the lighting plan, I already have lights there. I'm just adding a couple of down lights for and replacing what the lights are.
I mean, it would have been good to show that on this plan at least, you know.
Okay.
Landscaping, I know I've always had a little issue on this property with that.
We have beautiful landscape.
It is.
And
It's
when you
nicely
drive
done.
by, it's kind of self-explanatory there.
That's what?
When you drive by or you come in, everything's landscaped and beautified.
Yeah, the skull looks good.
Yeah, thank you. You like the earmuffs?
And Dick, there is a.
It's just, you know, I've been trying, I mean, usually when we have an opportunity to do some upgrading to landscaping and buffer planting, especially in front, when there's some pretty hefty changes made, that's something we often look at doing, or having hopefully done. And I think there's only one little tree out front and one little tree in the parking lot. I mean, normally if this was coming in new, and granted it's not a new, and that's a big difference, but as you can see, it's a huge parking area with very, very little greenery. And I think it might be nice of the petitioner to be willing to, you know, add a few trees in the parking lot and a few trees at least along the front. Yes, there's a good buffer on the Stop and Shop Plaza area, but that's all their plannings. And you know, it's adequate. That's a commercial property as well. I'm sure they don't really care that much, so I'm comfortable with that. But I would ask the petitioner to add a little greenery here and there. It's only going to help how yours looks. Right now, it's kind of sterile.
I have more than one tree out front, Mr. Martin. There's quite a few trees going up front. There's one in
There's
front of
some in the mini golf
Papagino's.
course, but
There's one in front of Papagino's. There's one on the next island. There's one in front of the bank, if you go out by the road. If you go right along 28. There's one right in front of my miniature golf course.
And the palm trees.
And, there's quite a few along the front of 28, sir.
okay. Well, we're looking now at it, and I see only
One,
appears to be 3, maybe.
one in front of Papagino's.
One in front of Papagino's and 2 others in those other islands, apparently.
Yeah, there's no leaves on them.
one
You're
in the
looking at
lot.
the winter pictures, that's why it's hard to see. All the leaves are gone.
It may be. I mean, if those islands each have at least, a tree or 2 in them
Each one's got a tree, sir.
in the front, then I can be comfortable,
Okay.
all right?
And the rest of the property, when you pull in, there's manicured flower beds, there's plenty of shrubbery. When you go out back, I have another 10 acres of trees.
Oh, you got a lot back there, no doubt.
Yes, so I think there's plenty of trees on the property.
Yeah. But again, it's a question of trying to clean up 28, making it look better, making it look greener. You get kind of a green canopy, at least
I
that's
think I do a
been,
pretty good job of making it look greener when you drive by in the summertime. I'm probably one of the better looking properties on 28.
there's certainly some, and it's better than many, yeah, I agree. But 1 tree for a 100-car parking lot, I don't think is enough, personally.
Well, if you look at the use for our parking lot in the off-season too, as the pictures you're looking at, there are quite a few uses for our parking lot that we set up for the St. Patty's Day Parade. We do the Winter Carnival. So the open space between the St. Patty's Day Parade, between our parking lot and the church parking lot, it gets pretty full in capacity just doing some other activities to help the community out in the off-season.
I understand that, and I appreciate that, yeah. All right, well, that's my 2 cents worth. It'll probably be only worth a penny to most people, so.
Okay.
This is actually
I
the
don't think I
carnival.
have any questions.
This is the carnival.
I think we've covered everything.
Carnival, yes.
Is there anything else that you would like to add, Jeff or Attorney Charter?
I'm all set, thank you.
I'm all set, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to speak in favor of this petition? Please come to the microphone.
No one, Mr. Chairman.
If there's anyone in opposition to this petition, please come to the microphone.
No one, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, all right. I don't have any correspondence in the file. I don't see any. We will close it now for the public comment, and we will go to board discussion. Is anyone prepared to begin a discussion or to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the petition 5162 as presented. I don't think
Okay.
it's going to have a major impact on anything that would be a hazard, a nuisance to the neighborhood, or a change, with its change. I do appreciate what they do for the town, especially the Winter Carnival, so. I had to work the skating rink last year. Anyway, so,
Thanks for your help.
we do appreciate what you do, so I think it's a reasonable request. Does Dick want to have anything about trees?
Well, I'm asking how nice that would be to see if you go in the spring. They're not there, I ain't gonna say nothing. All right, but
We'd like to see maybe, what I'll add is we'd like to make an effort if there's a way to put a tree or 2 in the parking lot area, that would be great. But,
The only condition that I would ask you consider in the motion is as far as the lighting is concerned, that it's just contained within the site.
Yes, I agree. Lighting
And
contained in the site.
I'm sure they're gonna do that anyway, but I think
Yeah.
we should just put that in the motion.
Okay, so added.
Okay, is there a second to the motion?
A second.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, I would say that the Nicanello family does have a long history with the town. We're all familiar with that. They do a very good job over there. They're very good at self-policing their property, and they run a first-class operation. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. I think they do meet the criteria under the bylaw. I don't think it's gonna be substantially non-conforming, nor a detriment in any way.
And I think it's great
so-
that they're willing to invest the money to keep the property relevant and attractive and desirable for the visitors that are here.
That's very true. That's very true. And again, it is it's something that is in high demand for the tourist population.
Right.
And we're very, very grateful to have them. Hearing no other discussion, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that carries unanimous. Attorney Tardif, can I expect to see a draft decision from you?
You can.
All right, well, thank you very much, gentlemen. Wish you the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, members.
Great season.
Did you mention
Right.
Old Orchard Beach bumper cars?
Pardon me?
Did you say Old Orchard Beach bumper cars?
Yes.
Those crazy. I got hurt on those.
I know. Where heads crash together.
Okay, if we're ready for the next petition is petition 5153. This is a continued matter from January 9th, 2025. Arthur N. Luke and Carlton Luke, trustees of 511 Main Street Trust, property location at 511 Route 28 in West Yarmouth, Mass. It's in a B2 zoning district, and the applicant seeks a variance from section 303.5 for side setback relief, and a variance from section 303.5 subsection 8 to place a 200 square foot ice vending machine greater than 6 feet from the principal building. The applicant requests a waiver from the requirement for a certified site/plot plan less than 2 years old. Good evening.
Good evening. For the record, my name is Andrew Singer, attorney in Dennisport. With me at the table is Arthur Luke, the applicant, Dave McNevich, the project engineer, is in the first row, and David Hawk, the landscape architect, is online. This is a continued matter, but it's also a new matter in that we amended the application, when we were last before you, some request for consideration of some changes. So we made some changes, which I'll go through, but we also re-advertised. So I believe, Mr. Chairman, that all 5 members who are here tonight are able to sit and vote on this because it was re-advertised.
Okay.
So, what we wanted to, I'm going to back up a little bit because for those of you who were not here for the first iteration, Mr. Luke is preparing to upgrade the parking lot. To use Mr. Martin's terms, the existing lot is rather sterile. And so part of a otherwise permitted upgrade, which is going to restripe to provide conforming size parking spaces. All the parking spaces now are undersized, and to add a lot of landscaping and things. He had proposed to have this detached ice machine. He has 3 ice machines on the front of the building now, and he'd like to remove 2 of them and set up this standalone ice machine. On the first iteration, when we were before you, that ice machine was going to be 31 feet from Route 28. So it was closer to the front of the lot. We saw it a little bit as a screening vehicle at that point, because it would be a structure that would be closer to the street. But there was some concern about not only its position that close to the street, but also when you come in off the existing curb cut, the original plan was to V out the access. So you'd come in and there'd be a circulation pattern. And there was some concern about that might be not ideal. So that has been removed, and on the plan that you have now, you have an island here, but you'll still come in and circulate around the parking area. And the ice machine has now been moved back to be 87 feet from Route 28. So it is considerably, more than twice, as far back as it was before. So it's much closer to the building, but it's more than 6 feet from the building. And there is that quirk in the zoning bylaw that we discovered with Mr. Grills, which led to this whole thing, that ice machines have to be within 6 feet of a building. And I'll discuss the variance, why we need the variance, because there's a reason structurally why we can't put this machine 6 feet, within 6 feet of the building, which I will discuss. And we added the second relief. So because when the ice machine originally was going to be 31 feet from the road, but 25 feet from the side setback, which would be conforming. In order to leave the parking area to be functional for both customers and public safety, the ice machine had to be, as shown on this plan, which is 16 feet from the line. So it requires relief into that side setback. That side setback is the open setback that you have now between the shopping plaza to the east and this site. So there's nothing there now, and we're proposing some significant landscaping, but we're requesting to place the ice machine as shown on the plan, which requires the two forms of relief, which is why we re-advertised. And we believe respectfully that the variance criteria here are met. And it is specifically having to do with the land and/or structures. And in this case, you have a lot that has two frontages with, as I termed it in my summary of reasoning, a sea of asphalt in front. And the building. And the building's the key here, because when you look at the building, on the west side of the building, closest to Springer, there's the driveway there that leads you down to the back of the building for deliveries and the side and back of the building. On the other side, on the east side, you see the hatched-out area that's on the plan, which is right here. That hatched-out area is actually doubling in size. Right now, it's half that size because there's parking in there, but that hatched area is the fire safety lane to the back of the shopping plaza next door. For the plaza, when you look at that plaza and you've got the building that has the ice cream, there's no way to get behind the building from that side. So the way the fire safety does, and I think trash as well, they come through the Luke's property, cross over through that hatched area, and access the side of the Luke building and the rear of the shopping plaza to the east. And so we can't put the ice machine there, because if you stuck it there 6 feet, you'd be blocking the emergency access. So you can't put the machine within 6 feet of the building without blocking the fire safety and delivery and trash services on both sides of the building. So when you look at the positioning of the structure on the land, and you look at the configuration, the long configuration of the lot with the two frontages, the curb cuts, we believe that meets and satisfies the hardship requirement of 40A Section 10 in the Yarmouth zoning bylaw. That is something that is unique to the soil condition, shape, or topography of the land and/or structures. And in this case, it's partially the land and mostly the structures. And the other two criteria of the variance, that it's not going to be substantially detrimental to the public good nor substantially derogate from the intent and purpose of the bylaw, we would submit will not be harmed here either. You are going to have a much better parking area. There will be fewer parking spaces, but still well more than the number that's required, and these spaces are all going to now be conforming to meet current sized vehicles. The spaces there now are all undersized. As I noted, we're also going to be improving the access to that fire safety lane to the east, to the rear of the other property. Right now, there's two parking spaces that are in it, so it's going to be getting bigger as well, so that there'll be a much more dedicated access for public safety and the trash trucks to get back there. There is going to be significant new landscaping, both enhanced and brand new. So along Springer and Route 28, you're going to have deepened buffer zones, new plantings. You're going to have the island when you're coming in off of Route 28 now with plantings. And along that easterly line, which is basically just a gravel buffer strip now between the two properties, with curb stops that keep the cars from going in and out, they're proposing, Mr. Hawk is proposing significant new landscaping to really dress that area up and improve the aesthetics of the entire site. And I think it's going to be much more attractive. Building coverage is non-conforming on the lot. It's going to go up slightly because of the ice machine counts. But the site coverage, which is also non-conforming on the site, is going to go down a bit. So there is going to be a little bit more open space and much more landscaping on the site. I believe those are the main reasons for the relief and the justification for the variance relief for this. We'd be happy to answer any questions. And again, Mr. Hawk, if you have, he was online. Not sure if he is there anymore. But if you have questions, we're happy to try and answer them. We appreciate your time. And actually, when I was sitting with Mr. Luke in the back earlier and we were looking at the plan, and Mr. Igo, I think it was you who suggested, what about moving it back? He turned to me, looked at the plan and said, I think it looks better here. So we think this is actually a more attractive, better situation, both functionally and operationally for the business, but also aesthetically. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Martin, do you have questions for the petitioner?
No, I don't think I have any questions. I appreciate what the petitioner has done relevant to the traffic flow and the plantings and moving the ice machine back to what I would agree is a better spot. And no, I think it's just a little something watered, and then we're getting quite a bit for it, so I'm pleased.
Okay, very good. Jay?
I agree with Dick. I'm glad to see it go back a little bit. I think that the planting looks good, the way the circulation should work well. It looks like the area that they have for access to the back is a little bigger than it was before, so hopefully that will not cause any problems. But no, I think it's a better plan, and I'd be supportive of it.
Okay. Barbara, do you have any questions or
No,
comments?
I appreciate the landscape plan. That fills in a lot of blanks for me. So no, I don't have any questions.
All right, thank you. Mr. Neese, any questions or comments?
Yeah, these photographs are from the previous,
Correct. The photographs, we didn't change. It'd be the same machine, but it'll now just be
okay.
in the back. Or
And I presume that machine needs water, so there's a underground water supply going to that?
To bring underwater service to it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. It's on the site plan.
Okay. No, I think it's going to look good, and I think if it, as long as the thing isn't painted crazy colors or something, I think it needs to blend in rather than stick out. And that would be just my, because that's what happened when I looked at this, and I know your company color is green, but to have the bright blue, why?
That's just ice is
Yeah.
associated with blue, I guess. Not
Ice blue?
Not green or
Yeah,
black.
I know, but,
Yeah, we can keep it toned down for sure.
yeah, I think just from
Yeah.
it's going to look pretty classy with all this nice landscaping. You don't want to mess it up, I don't think. Just comment. That's all, Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Thank you. I don't have any questions as well. I do have a comment. I think the petitioner's done a great job moving it back to where the new location is. I do agree with council. I do think they meet the criteria for a variance. I think the hardship is owing really to the land and the building as well. Okay, given the fact of the fire lanes, that they can't do anything, they can't move it within the 6 feet, and it's not feasible to bring it enough Springer Lane to get it closer to the building. This is really probably the best site to put it. Also, I want to commend them for the landscape plan and the flow of the traffic. I think that's going to look very, very nice. And they've done a good job there over the years. I mean, the Lukes have a long history with this town. They've always done a very good job. They're very well respected, and we're very happy to have them in town, and we want them to be successful. And We obviously want to help them with this. The last plan just didn't seem like it fit right where it was. They've gone out of their way and come back with a new plan now that I think makes very good sense, and I think it's going to fit well in there. So I do think they have met the criteria under the bylaw as far as the variance is concerned. I think it's going to be a benefit to the town, and I plan on supporting it as well. Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to speak in favor of this petition? If so, please come to the microphone.
No one?
None?
None.
Is there anyone that wishes to speak in opposition to this petition? Please come to the microphone.
There are none.
Okay. Is there anything else, Attorney Singer or Mr. Luke, that you would like to add?
Not at this time, thank you.
I just have,
Okay, thank
I
you.
just have one question, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Those 5 parking spaces that have been handicap spots, or 3 of them have anyway, because one is one that I use when I go there usually. Is that restricted parking for access for the trucks to get through, or or do they come early in the morning anyway?
It's random. I would,
Well, those are being removed.
yeah.
Those, right, those
Yeah,
two
I don't know
spots.
that one is really conforming.
Yeah, it probably isn't.
Mr. McNevich could speak to that better, but I think honestly, 2 of them weren't really, well-established handicap spots.
No, I know, and
So
and
now
that one
that-
out in front, I
Yeah.
don't think I ever saw
Right,
anybody.
that,
ever
especially,
park there.
that's one of the 2 that
That kind of
basically.
clogged up the passage
yeah,
of
yeah.
other cars too, if it
Right,
was taken,
right.
so. But they're not going to be restricted to certain hours of parking or anything, just regular parking?
Right, yeah. They have full access now.
Yep.
Sometimes they had to wait. Sometimes if I have something along the building, I have to wait for cars to get out. So now it's going to be, 24/7, access. The only thing I'd add, Mr. Chairman, I appreciate you kind of steering it this way, because honestly, I think it's much more aesthetically placed there. We probably just didn't think we could make this approach through the variance, so we were trying to.
And I would think you want to get them closer to the front door, so they might want to come in too.
Potentially, yeah. Plus, my people won't have to make 13,000 bags of ice anymore.
Yeah.
Every summer.
Or they can stop after they've come out of the store.
That would be better.
That would be better.
Yeah.
Another reason to have
Okay,
it
so
closed.
is everybody all set? Are we prepared to take a vote?
I'd be glad to make a motion.
Make a motion? Do we have a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the variance for side setback relief, as well as the variance for the ice machine being more than 6 feet, I guess it is, from the building. I don't believe it has any undue nuisance or hazard, and I do see it as an issue with the fire lane especially, and the problem that would cause as far as being able to try to come up with an alternative, so that's my motion.
Second,
Okay, we have a second to the motion.
second.
Okay, so we have a motion made to approve the petition as requested with no conditions. We're allowing the variance for the setback 6 feet and greater than 6 feet from the,
Yeah, side
Building
setback of 15 feet.
16.
16 feet, is it? Couldn't read that. And
and what is the second form of relief, counsel?
greater than 6 feet from the building for the ice machine, I believe.
Then what's the second one?
So greater than 6 feet is the first one, and 16-foot easterly side setback.
Yes.
Okay, all right, that's the second. And we will waive the requirement for the site plot plan less than 2 years old. Is that correct?
Yes.
Jay,
Yes.
okay,
Forgot that part.
all right. We're gonna bundle these into one motion. Any discussion? Do I have a second on the motion?
Second?
Second, okay. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. That carries unanimously. Attorney Singer, I will wait a draft decision from you.
Yes, I will send in one. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. Best
Thank you
of
all
luck.
very much.
Have a good night.
Appreciate it.
Look
too.
good.
Got trees in there and everything.
Yeah.
without asking. Doesn't do well when I ask, they just say, screw you.
We'll look at it.
All right, the last matter on our agenda tonight is petition 5164. Mark G. Haley and Julie B. Haley, trustees of the Haley Family Living Trust. The property location at 2 Andrina Road, West Yarmouth, and it's in an R25 zoning district. The applicant seeks a special permit for 104.3.2 subparagraph 2 and/or a variance from section 203.5 for front setback relief to raise and replace a pre-existing non-conforming dwelling.
Mr. Chairman, there's a Mr. Haley on the Zoom and a Mr. Kelly in the room.
Okay,
Yeah, my name is Chris Kelly, and
I did see that you were going to be speaking on his behalf, and he's going to be zooming in if necessary.
yes.
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead and tell us about your project.
Okay, the project that the Haleys have before you is they're going to be planning on tearing down the existing structure on that piece of property and rebuilding it, and I think they gave you a little printout showing the house as it exists now and what the house will look like. It's proposed to replace it.
Yes, we do. We have plans. We have a picture of the existing home. We have plans of the new home. We have site plan of the land, prepared by Aaron Healy of BSC Group. It shows the location of the proposed property, proposed new house. Okay, is there anything else you'd like to tell us at this time?
No, I think what the paperwork that you have and what they're proposing is pretty clear. If you have any questions and I can answer them, I will. If not, Mark is online, he can answer them for you. The new house
Okay.
is basically the same size as the existing house. And you'll notice that architecturally, it's traditional full cape, 2 windows to the left, 2 to the right, door in the center.
No, very attractive. I'm actually quite familiar with this piece of property. I lived around the corner for many, many years and have gone by this home many, many times. It's a very nice spot right there on the corner of Andrina and Lewis Bay. I got a question now, as far as the front setback on Andrina, is that going to be the same as the existing front setback?
Yes, I believe in this paperwork, it's 15.3 inches right now, and with the new structure on it, it'll be 15 feet, 6 inches. So it'll move back 3
So you're going
inches.
back a little bit. Okay.
Corner looks like it's
And
gonna
do you know what the setback is on the Lewis Bay Road side?
It should be on these plans.
I didn't see it on the plans.
I might be missing it here.
I didn't see it on the plans either, so.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's just say that it's further than what you have on Andrina.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It also didn't look like it changed, which I think is the.
Yeah, it looks like it's staying.
Oh, yeah, the house is not moving toward Lewis Bay Road any more than
Okay.
it is now.
And you're gonna leave the existing garage, I presume, and you're gonna remodel that?
It's going to become a garage.
Well, it's one now, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but I think it's actually going to be a garage that holds 2 cars as opposed to beach equipment and beach chairs and everything else. We'll see.
Okay, and so that's currently 10.5 feet off the road.
Right, that's,
Okay.
and you can see in that picture that they submitted with the house and the plans laying there, on the left side of the house, that piece sticking out is not added onto the house on that side. That's actually, you're looking at the side of the garage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
the garage is 10 feet from the road, and then whatever that length of garage is still the end of the house.
And we have a brand-new septic system going in, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I presume the reason that you can't move the house back is because you have to be so far away from your new septic system.
I believe that's what the issue is, and I think one of these plans, does that even, before I unroll these here, you've got them, looked at them, they have the septic system laid out on them? They've all been engineered.
Okay. And that type of, but do you know anything about that system? Do you know if it's an AI system or if it's a standard Title V?
I don't know that, but Mark, you probably answer that. Is Mark still online?
Yes, we're here. First off, I'd like to thank Mr. Chairman and the commission for hearing our petition. I'm not sure what the classification of the septic system is, but Kieran Healy used his best judgment in designing and engineering it, and that's what the drawings before you reflect.
Okay, all right, okay, all right. Okay. And just looking at it, you're on a corner lot, so we're aware that corner lots can sometimes be a little bit difficult to meet the setbacks. And fit your septic system in at the same time. I'll tell you what, if you have nothing else to add at this time, I'm gonna go to the board for questions. Is there anything else you'd like to add at this time?
No, I think we're all set. Unless Mark
Okay.
has something he wants to say, I think we're all set.
Mr. Neitz, do you have any questions for the petition?
I do have a couple, Mr. Chairman. The assessor's field card mentions a studio apartment above the garage. Do you know anything about that?
That garage has been there since 1950, and upstairs, it's a over the garage room, is basically what it is.
Yeah,
Storage and everything else. No one's lived there or rented it or anything.
Is there an intent to keep it as a studio apartment above the garage?
If I may, the term apartment is far too grand. It's just a big room with a half bath in it. And the intent is to, every once in a while, let a teenager spend a summer weekend in there. But it's not intended to be an accessory dwelling unit or anything like that.
Okay. The reason I asked is that, this for replacing the house, it's also significantly larger. And from what I figure, the square footage is going from like 1,500 square feet to 2,300 square feet. Is that about right?
It is, and most of that is in the back and in the screen porch area, which the screen porch is going to be an addition.
That was not included. I did not include the screen porch in the square footage, but the way I figured it was going from 1548 to 2374, which in our parlance is an expansion of a non-conforming use. And I just want to make sure everybody understood that it wasn't just replacing the house in its footprint, it's significantly larger. You don't dispute those numbers?
Oh, no, not at all.
Okay.
I think they're written right on the plans, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And to be clear, the intent here is for this home to become a year-round primary residence.
Good, and I'm sure it's going to be assessed a little more than the one that's there now too, so it's good for the town. The total number of bedrooms is 4 in the house?
That's correct, and there's a den that is on the first floor also that Kieran has advised us should be considered as a bedroom just because of the size of it, and the septic system has been sized accordingly.
And did the size of the septic also include that bedroom above the garage?
Yeah, it's a 6-bedroom septic.
Okay. All right. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Okay, Barbara?
I don't have any questions.
Okay. Jay?
I think, first of all, Sean, I believe this would be the special permit. I don't really think the variance applies because they already have, they aren't changing the setbacks. And I think the big question is, is the height within 35 feet? It looks like it's only about 20-something.
Oh, definitely.
So, I think this is a special permit request, not a variance. And is that a new foundation going in?
Full foundation.
Full foundation? So full basement too?
Yep.
Yep. I really don't have any other questions, but I do think it's just a special permit. That's all I had.
Okay, okay. Mr. Martin, do you have any questions?
Not really. With so many neighbors approving it and wanting to see it done, I think that's a wonderful sign. And the newer additions are no further non-conforming than what's here now. So I'm comfortable with what's being done here.
Okay. Well, it is certainly a lovely looking home. I think I would not be inclined to approve it as a 6-bedroom house, even though it's got a 6-bedroom septic system. And I wouldn't support any finished, well, you can finish over your garage. Are you planning on remodeling that garage? Because am I seeing a plan for the garage? I don't see any plan for the garage.
No, we're not planning on doing anything in the garage other than putting cars in it.
Are you gonna remodel that building?
Paint it.
You're just gonna paint it, you're not gonna redo it?
No, there's really no need to.
Yeah, there's not much to do.
You gotta re-shingle it, re-roof it, put new doors and windows in it, and new garage doors?
Yes, new garage doors and
Okay, so you're gonna
new
remodel
entry
it.
doors also.
Okay, okay. Are you going to, what is on the, what are the ceiling joists in there, do you know?
I do not.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't be in favor of any habitable use of the second floor of that garage. All right? You don't show it on your plan anyway here. Mr. Neitz is correct. This is a substantial increase in what is a nonconformity. I know you have a lot of letters of support, and it is a very nice house. And I do think it would look very nice there. I'm not quite sure that you needed a 6-bedroom septic system. You might have been able to put one in a little smaller than that to perhaps move the house back into conformity, but then you would have had to do something with that garage, and I'm not sure how that would have fit on the lot. So I think what you're trying to do here is within reason. You're supposed to be 30 feet back on each of these setbacks. I don't know what the average is on the houses next to you, because you're not trying to set back average and you haven't raised that. But you can take the average of the houses next to you and figuring out what the setbacks could be. You can use those. So if the other houses are only 15 feet off, say, you could set back average and use those averages for your setbacks. We don't know what they are, so we have to assume that you're supposed to have 30. Now, do I think they're ever going to expand Andrina Road or Lewis Bay Road? No. So essentially what we would consider here tonight really is just approving something that's a bit bigger, but it's kind of sitting in the same spot as that house that's been there forever that I can remember, anyway. And it sits very nicely right there on the corner. So I think if we want to get an idea what the new house is going to look like, it's going to look like the older house as far as the site's concerned, sitting on the lot. Okay, of course, your new home's going to be much nicer than that. But I think the only concern that I have would be relative to over the garage. Are you asking for, and since we're on bedrooms, what are you asking for? I'm looking at this plan and I see the den in the office is not a bedroom. That's a den in the office. So you have one, let's count your bedrooms.
4 bedrooms, master bedroom suite on the first floor, 3 bedrooms on the second floor. And
Okay.
Karen had advised us that just because of the size of the home office, that the town would count that as a bedroom, and it was his
Well,
advice to
I
design
don't
the
necessarily agree with them. I'd be inclined to approve a 4-bedroom house for you tonight
Mhm.
with a restriction of no habitable space over the garage.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. Does anybody else have any further questions for the petitioner? None from the board?
No, I would agree with you, Mr. Chairman, that since we're giving them significant relief for the continuation and expansion of the use of the property and the size of the property and the expansion of the non-conforming use for the setbacks, that I think this is a good chance to be able to limit the number of actual bedrooms on a small lot. So I would agree with your recommendation to eliminate that living space above the garage to try to chew back a little bit of conformity.
It's listed as existing storage now.
No, it's listed on the field card as an apartment.
Is it?
Yep.
On the field card it is, yeah.
It says,
I don't think you could call it an apartment.
it says garage with studio apartment above.
Yeah,
You might want to fix
it's a
that.
big room with a half bath, but there's no cooking facilities or refrigerator or anything like that in there.
You have a half bath up there?
There is, yeah.
So the half bath is to be removed, any cooking facilities. The only thing that we would allow that to be is what's called finished storage. The building inspector will talk to you about that, but that's what will be conditioned, okay? Which means you can finish off the room, okay, if you want to, but it can't be a bedroom, can't be habitable. It's not considered habitable space.
And take out the bathroom, you said?
The bathroom's gotta come out of there. If there's one up there, I don't know that there is. I hadn't been in the house. You're telling me.
There's a half bath up there.
Okay, well, that's gotta come out. Your total number of bedrooms on your field card is 4. So we're gonna limit this house to be a 4-bedroom house. Okay. All right. I know you have a ton of letters of support. I don't think we need to read a bunch of letters. We know all your neighbor. I presume they're people in the neighborhood. I may know some of them. So we'll go on the record that you have, I think, 10 letters of support. You might even have a couple more.
It is 12 letters of support, Mr.
There's
Chairman.
12 letters of support. Okay, we don't usually get that many, so you must be a pretty popular guy in the neighborhood.
My wife's the popular one.
Oh, okay, well, that could
Smart
explain
remark.
things then, okay. All right.
People hear the ones. People hear what?
We have some
So-
people, we may have some people here, Sean, just for what it's worth.
Okay, well, what I'm gonna ask is, I don't wanna hear people that are in favor of this petition. I wanna hear anybody come forward that's in opposition to this petition. Please come to the
They're
microphone.
upset, they were all
I think the two
anxious
people
here.
would like to
It's all
speak.
written and everything, you know?
Hold on a second. I asked for opposition first.
There are none.
There are none. Okay. And how many people wanna speak in favor of this petition? Raise your hand.
Just one.
2.
Just one?
They're both together, but they speak
All right,
separately.
come on up. I thought there was 10. I'm remote right
No,
now.
no,
Come
no.
on up to the microphone.
You'll need to come up to the table because that's where the microphone is.
All right, come on up to the table and sit down and tell us who you are and tell us what your thoughts are.
Just want to be part of the process, how's that? Kevin and Kathy Balcom, 16 Andrina. We've been in the neighborhood since
62.
1962.
Wow.
And we just support any families that have been there as long as us to stay there. And we just feel very passionate about our little beach, our little community. And it's nice. Our kids grew up there, now my grandkids, and so on. So we just support it.
Well, that's very good. Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else you'd like to add?
No, we just want to be part of this fabulous process. This has been
Okay,
really
well, we're glad to
fun.
have you. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're on television every other Thursday.
This is fun. I was gonna say, I gotta get a life if this is fun.
Okay. All right,
Regularly scheduled.
is there anything else, Mr. Haley, that you would like to add at this time?
Not at this time, just we're very excited about this project, and the intent is very much to recreate the existing look and feel of the home, and in order to do that, we do request relief from the setback requirements.
Okay, all righty, thank you very much. All right, we're gonna close the hearing to the public, open it up for board discussion. Anybody prepared to discuss this matter or make a motion?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. I believe this is just, there's no additional setback issues than what's there now. So I believe this is just a change and a raise and replace, an extension of a current situation with no greater problems than it was before. So to me, it's a special permit under 104.3.2, Section 2. I could be wrong, but if you agree with me, then I'll be glad to make a motion to accept it under that condition.
I just would ask the chair, in your opinion, Sean, would you think that the expansion of a pre-existing non-conforming use requires a variance or a special permit?
I don't think it's an expansion.
Well,
It
I
allows
don't
expansion.
know that it's an expansion of the use. The structure is certainly larger.
Yes.
The question is are they creating any new nonconformities really relative to setbacks? I don't know that they are. They're expanding it out deeper into the yard, but I think they're maintaining the current setbacks on the front and on the side. One could make an argument that it might be a variance, but I think you could also just as easily make the argument that it's a special permit under raise and replace. Now, it's certainly not raise and replace within the existing footprint.
No, but you can do a raise to replace an extension too. So, I mean, that's all under the same special permit capability, and I don't see a variance here.
Well, it wasn't
Okay,
just a small.
well, I'm comfortable going with a special permit. I would ask that whoever makes the motion that we limit it to a 4-bedroom with no habitable space above the existing garage, and any plumbing or any kitchens or anything must be removed. The only thing that's allowed up there is finished storage. But I'm happy to proceed with a special permit.
Okay.
And we'll just ask him later to withdraw the variance relief.
Well, in that case, I'm happy to make a motion to approve a special permit for the raise and replace that they've, as presented, with the condition that the bathroom above the garage be removed.
Okay, and it be limited to a 4-bedroom?
And it be limited to a 4-bedroom.
And the space above the garage be limited to finished storage only?
Finished storage, yes.
Okay. Is anybody prepared to make a second to that motion?
I'll second it, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Any further discussion on the motion?
I just have a little concern about having them take out the half bath over the garage. I don't see any reason for that. They could build one there now by right. So it just seems to me to be a little overkill in terms of trying to limit the space. The what kind of floor is in there now?
It's a plywood floor.
Plywood.
It's all sheet rocked out.
Yeah.
been that way since,
But they're getting 800 square feet more in the house, too.
Oh, I know. I'm not saying they're not getting something for,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm comfortable with that, but I just, it just seems a little overkill to come after them to take a bath out, which is, I'm sure, hardly used at all anyways.
Well, I hear where you're coming from, Dick. I think the concern that I have, though, is,
Down the road.
you know, they are putting a considerably larger house on this lot.
No doubt about
And
it.
I don't know that whatever it is above that garage with the bathroom up there, the half bath, is legal. I don't know when it was put in. I don't. So, and another thing is, if they want to do something with that, make it habitable, I'm not sure what they have for ceiling joists there. They probably only have 2x6s. That's what most of these garages have in them. So the whole thing would probably have to be brought up to code anyway, whatever they're gonna do. If they're just gonna re-shingle this thing and do the outside, I don't think the building department's gonna go along with that anyway. But I just get a little concerned when all of a sudden this turns from a 4-bedroom, 1,500 square foot house into a 2,300 plus square foot house with 5 bedrooms. And that becomes a living area up there. You know, then it's gonna be rented, then we have cars. There's not a lot of parking on this site either. So that's another thing we should be taking into consideration. I don't even see any driveways. This plan right here is kind of missing some things. We should have the septic plan. The site plan should be more specific. We should see what some of these setbacks are that we don't have. We should see where the parking is. We should see where driveways are. This is a brand new house. This just isn't an extension. This is a raise and replace. So there is some things here that are missing, that we could ask them to go back. But there is going to be a parking problem, it looks like here, if you get too many people on this site.
Yeah.
Now, it
septic
appears
plan.
to me that the Haley family is gonna be living here.
They have a
But-
septic plan on the main plan.
They do?
Yeah.
No, I mean showing the elevations. Top of foundation, they've got the plan, that the septic on there, but they don't show it vertically. They don't show elevations, they don't show top of foundation. They might show top of foundation somewhere. I think I saw it. It wasn't really raised that much.
Oh, Kevin, okay.
So I think we're giving them that. If they want to come back and at a later date and come back before us and talk about this again, I'm more than happy to do that. They can always request further relief, or under the ADU, I don't know.
We're not looking for any further relief, and there's no interest in converting that garage space into an ADU or anything like it.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion on the floor with a second. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Is that an aye from everybody?
It is.
Okay. All right, that carries unanimously. Mr. Haley, once the decision is written and clocked with the town clerk, 20 days must elapse. That's an appeal period in case someone wants to file an appeal. Given the support that you have in the neighborhood, I don't think that's gonna happen. After that time has elapsed, you can get your special permit from Dolores, our administrative assistant. You then take that over to the Barnstable Registry of Deeds, record it, and then please bring a copy back to us for our records.
Understood. Thank you.
You have any questions?
Mr. Chairman, there is also the variance.
Oh, yes, you requested variance relief. You don't need it. So we would ask that you request that you withdraw that request for relief without prejudice, meaning you could always come back.
Okay. We'll
You'd
do
like
that.
to do that? Okay, there's a request to withdraw the request for relief without
moved.
prejudice. Got a motion, do I have a second?
Second?
Second, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The request to withdraw your relief, your request for variance without prejudice is granted, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, best of luck. Looks like a beautiful home.
Okay. Thanks to all of you.
All right, thank you. Dolores, do we have any minutes?
No, Mr. Chairman.
No minutes. Okay, okay. Any other business tonight?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Hearing none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
You do. I move.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, we stand adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone.